you're gonna have to get.
I'm gonna have to get up in there.
You're gonna have to get closer.
Get up in there.
Get up in there.
It's not that kind of book club.
I mean, it could be.
Not your mother's book club.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I might be tired.
No, I'm
Well, hi, Loki. You can't eat that. That's a book.
No.
Hi.
No,
We have dogs. We have 3.
No, you can't. You can't eat the book.
The youngest one's trying to eat my book, which is better, I guess, than burning a book. So there's
It
that.
depends which book it is, though. Yeah. I mean,
Which book would you burn?
well,
Let's talk.
communist propaganda usually gets burned.
Okay, that's a good point.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Depending on if you're in or out of the communist country, it depends which books are burned.
There's that.
Loki, Chesty.
Guys, we don't need baths.
No.
They are trying to clean us.
Yes. Yeah.
So, can you scoot that way? Nobody can see me. Everybody can see you, and I'm important too.
No.
I'm important too.
Well, I know, but now I'm out of the picture.
No, you're not. You're still in it. Okay, puppies. No.
Stop.
Living
lay down.
room.
Go lay down.
Guys, we're okay.
There he goes.
There we go. Well, one of them listens, and his name is Chesty.
Yeah. But yes.
Okay. Book club.
Book club 2. Book club.
Book club.
Book club number 2. What you have changed the book that you're reading?
I've changed the book I'm reading because I love Please Kill Me. I do. I love Please Kill Me. It is very good. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of course, punk, rock, and roll. Loki. Really?
Okay.
For people with children, I really, really feel for you because this is what he likes to do.
I'm gonna let them outside because
Oh, that's a good idea.
after their dinner.
It is after dinner. So I'm going to tell you guys why I quit reading Please Kill Me while he handles the children. It's really good. It's a really insightful read. I like the interviews. I need some fiction because, real life is a little too real for me right now. Work is work. But real life is a little too real for me right now. Love the interviews, love everything. And music is a really good escape for me. But I needed something new. So I'm going to see if this, yeah. If you can see this, it is
There you go.
Scandalous by LJ Shen.
Yeah.
It's romance. It's good. I've read it before, but I really, 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 really like this story.
Shameless plug. Is it also the same genre as the book you wrote?
Oh my gosh. I feel like this is a little spicier than what I wrote. So,
okay.
there is that. But it's
little
it's the
more
same
50 Shades than what you wrote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is not at all like 50 Shades.
Well, it's still
Largely because it's well written, but there's that.
Speaking of books to burn.
I would burn the book. I would keep the movies.
Fair.
I thought the movies were really, really, really well done.
Okay.
Especially given their,
The content or the subject matter,
yeah, the
I
subject
guess.
matter. Yeah. Given their subject,
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Okay.
think she had the oh my goodness. I keep wanting to say the capacity to be a good writer, but I don't know that that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, she could have been a good writer.
Okay.
She was it was super, it was
So-
Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
That's another thing. This is not Twilight fan
So
fiction.
what is the actual title of the book?
It's called Scandalous.
But then
It's-
what's this?
Sinners of Saint is the
Is it the series?
series.
Okay.
Yes, the series.
So is this like number 1, number 2?
I think this is number 4. There are
Okay.
others. I've read the others. They are good. This is my favorite of all of them. Sinners of Saint. This series is a really good series.
Are
but
they sequels or-
Scandalous is just
Or can you like jump
my
in
favorite.
anywhere?
You could probably jump in anywhere. Honestly, I read it and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I just went back and read the 3 previous books and I was like, oh, okay.
So-
I mean, like, it sets up this guy's story because he's part of the friend group. It's like 4
Okay.
guys.
Right,
I
yeah.
don't remember their names.
It
I
get-
read
the-
these books when I worked in DC, so I had a lot of time to read.
the other books give you context, but they don't necessarily set up this book.
Not
Okay.
really.
That's fair.
I feel like you could read it on its own. It just kind of helps to have a little bit of background. And when I read the other books, I was like, oh, okay. That, like, this little teeny part that had really no bearing on the entire book makes sense now.
Yeah.
But it's not
Okay.
really yeah.
That's fair.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
So how much have you read?
I've read the prologue and the first 2 chapters.
And
It's so good. So good. So good. So good. So good. So, it follows Edie, who is 18. She is getting ready to graduate high school. Hates her father, of course, because those books are just straight fire.
okay.
She
Wait,
hates
father hating books?
daddy issues. Yeah, it's like a thing. It's a whole thing in the romance world.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it?
Anyway,
Is that because
works.
it like speaks to maybe a good portion of people, like they can associate with that a little bit? Or it's just a thing?
It's just a thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Edie is 18, hates her father, but she's also like, her father is super, super rich, owns 49% of a company, uses money to kind of like leverage Edie against this guy, actually, who is Trent, who is 33. So it's one of those. But anyway,
Age is just a number.
the guy I dated before you was 54. Do you want to have that conversation?
No, I was making a joke. I was making a joke. We've gone over this.
Yeah, I know. He's probably 60 by now, actually. I don't remember how old I was when I dated him. But he was like the guy I dated before you, and then the guy I dated before that was 50, so, you know. And he still asks me for marriage advice, so.
What you gonna do?
Yep. I'm a relationship expert, because I've only had one functional one.
What do they say? You learn more from your mistakes than your accomplishments. Is that what you're going for right there?
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
Edie's dad uses
The book.
Edie doesn't want her dad's money, but she needs it for this mysterious person named Theo, who I know who he is, but I'm not going to spoil it because I'm not at that part of the book yet. For Theo, who she really likes to take care of. That's what's implied in there. She wants to take care of Theo. She needs money to take care of Theo. She doesn't want her dad's money, though. But her dad will give her the money for, like, taking care of Theo if she does what he wants. What he wants at this point in the book, just the first 2 prologue and 2 chapters, is somebody to work at his company from like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that.
Okay.
And her dad is using the excuse of, oh, well, you know, you gave up your admission to all these really elite high schools because, you know, she's rich, so she can get into the really elite high schools.
Right.
You gave up your admission to all these colleges, I'm sorry. And so you're going to go work in my office. Doesn't explain why, says he wants her to, and that if she doesn't, he will, quote unquote, take care of Theo. And she knows what that means, so he's like, he's a shady dude, like super, super shady. You don't really get an introduction into these two, save for when Edie robs Trent's mom. Because she robs people to get money because she doesn't want her dad's money because, as I have just now established, her dad's money comes with strings.
Okay.
So the only encounter she has had with Trent so far is stealing his mom's purse. He catches up to her, takes the purse, and tells her, I will not forget the fact that you just robbed my mother, but I'm not going to use this bit of information until it's going to do me any good, until it serves a purpose for me.
Leverage.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then we find out in, I think, the second chapter that Trent is a father to a 4-year-old little girl. She, she's 4. Sorry. She does not speak, and he can't figure out why she doesn't speak. There's a whole backstory with her mom that they haven't really delved into, save for the fact that, like, she was a stripper and he knocked her up and then she, like, left the baby with him. So
Oh,
this little girl doesn't speak.
okay.
He's trying to figure out why. Find out he's banging the therapist. Um, but the therapist
Hence the
is
name Scandalous, I suppose.
that and the fact that like she's 18 and he's 33, 34. Anyway, the therapist does care about his daughter though, and I do want to point that out because she very much tries to point out to him in that chapter that like maybe if you tried this with your daughter, she would appreciate it. Maybe if you tried this with your daughter, she might open up to you.
Okay, so the therapist is
Trying.
trying.
There's just that little unethical relationship going
Well,
on there.
yeah.
I really like this book. I mean, these are characters that I like. You watch them grow, and I'm sure, of course, like if this were a real life setting, they would realize they're growing. But you're reading this, and you're like, you're growing. Look, it's personal growth. Like it's so good. And I really, honestly, I really like the relationship that Trent attempts to have with his daughter. Her name is Luna. I like the relationship he's trying to have with her. Like, one of my favorite scenes is actually in chapter 2. They're leaving the therapist's office. He's holding his daughter's hand. And he says, so do you want spaghetti for dinner? And she doesn't respond. He was like, how about froyo? And she doesn't respond. And he goes, okay. How about spaghetti and froyo for dinner? And he says it like she squeezes his hand. And that to him, you know, of course, that's her way of communicating.
Right, yeah.
So she squeezes his hand and, you know, he's telling her like, we'll watch Stranger Things, you know, you can stay up until 9. And she's squeezing his hand a little bit more. And he goes, but no cookies before bed. And that's when she kind of like, he says she tugs on his hand. And he's like, nope, no cookies before bed. And that, like, it's the end of the conversation, but you can very much tell, especially from his narration, that he's like, look, I've made some headway with my kid. And it's so cute. Just like that relationship. Of course, the relationship with Edie and Trent is like super, of course, scandalous, but you know, the relationship with Trent and Luna is one that I really, really like because he does try.
Yeah.
I really like this book.
Yeah.
I've read it. I don't even know how many times I've read it at this point, but I really love it. And I wanted to read it for this because honestly, after reading, you know, interviews about people who had tons of sex and did so many drugs.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it anymore. So
yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
there we
that's
are.
fair.
Scandalous by L.J. Shen. It's part of the Sinners of Saint series. I might go into one of the previous... I don't even know if I have a physical copy of the previous ones.
Yeah.
I might have had those on my Kindle, which I no longer have.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I definitely... This was one that I was like, I want a physical copy of this so that I can have it when I want to read it again.
You tried another book, didn't you? What was the other book that you tried?
I don't want to say the name of the book or the author because I don't want to like say anything bad.
But you did try another
I did
one. You
try.
didn't like that one.
The writing was too simplistic. You know, she's a really good author. She has a book that I really, 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 really love that I'll probably read next. That's also romance because that really is my genre. Like I love romance. I love love stories. I could give or take on the smut. I'm not really I'm not big into it. It's okay.
You're not the kind of person that reads 50 Shades and puts bookmarks at persons and like little post-it notes.
Nope. That is not me.
Yeah. I saw a Facebook status about that one time. A teenage girl found her mother's copy of 50 Shades of Grey, and it had little sticky notes all stuck out throughout, and she's like, "No, mother, no. I don't need to know that that's what you're doing, you know." But
no,
that's not your thing.
No,
you're
that's not me.
You're more of the...
I like the story. I like the growth, which is honestly why I wasn't a big fan of the writing of 50 Shades of Grey. Because she focused so much,
she
of course,
focused on the other stuff instead. Yeah.
And not really the story. And that's why I like the movies, because you can watch this growth happen. I mean, I could watch those movies over and over and over again because you watch the growth happen. There's more to the story.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Like the movies almost... They almost do a better job of that picture in your mind than the reading the books did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, usually that's the other way around.
Yeah.
That's why usually movies aren't as good as the books.
Yeah.
depending on your movies, obviously, but you know.
I think the one movie that I would say really stuck with the book and really loved it was The Fault in Our Stars.
Okay.
That one, I mean,
that in
John
your opinion,
Green
that's
is like top tier author, so
right. That in
it's
your opinion,
hard
that's
to meet that sort of expectation. But I think they did a really good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like going from a book to a movie.
Going
that's
from a book to a movie, that was a really good transition.
What would you say is your worst version of that?
Probably,
in your opinion.
In my opinion, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
That one did not translate well.
Was not a fan.
Yeah.
The first one, sort of. The second one, not at all.
Okay.
Just because they tried to cram 3 books worth into one movie, and you're watching this, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Instead of one book into 3 movies, they did it the other way around.
Yeah,
kind of
they
deal.
did 3 books into one movie, and there were just some really key parts of the 4th book in the series that they just glossed over, and I was so upset. Because Bridget is one of my favorite characters. Her mother died. I mean, not the same way, so, like, I can't relate in that way. But her mother died. She didn't have a mother. And there were just some really key parts in that 4th book that I loved. And especially now, like, I can really, really connect with. And I was super upset. So, yeah, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, 2 more than 1, but I wasn't a big, big, big fan of 1.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
You want to hear mine?
Yes.
My top and my low?
Give me your high and low.
My favorite, as a purist, it doesn't get 100%, but the Lord of the Rings books into the Lord of the Rings movies are actually really good. The parts that they changed and the parts that they left out are understandable. Because let's be honest, the movies are already at minimum 3 hours long to begin with, so you can't you got to cut stuff out. Yeah. That's just how that works.
Of course. Yeah.
So in my opinion, that's probably one of that's my favorite. That's in my opinion really good. The worst book into a movie, of the books I've read into a movie, is Battlefield Earth. I don't think
I've read or seen
John Travolta's worst grossing movie ever. The book was written by L. Ron Hubbard, Mr. Scientology. So it's my opinion, that's the only reason John Travolta did the movie to begin with, is because who wrote the book.
It's fair.
The book, though, is fantastic. It is amazing. It is a post-apocalyptic aliens exist book. But the movie only covers like half of what the book does. And they don't even get close to what the aliens look like. Essentially, John Travolta plays an alien that wears high heels. And that is... No. The description in the book is just like, no, this isn't even close. And the plot, it kind of follows it, but they just leave out key people. Yeah. They just do a horrible job.
That's my biggest complaint about the Hunger Games movies, is the fact that in the first book, the person who gives Katniss the pin is, oh goodness, is she the mayor or the governor's daughter? The person who's in charge of District 12.
Yeah, I guess you could say governor.
His daughter. Governor. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read the book. But his daughter gives her that Mockingjay pin, which kind of, to me, sets up the whole thing.
Right.
You're just like, she started the rebellion. Like, she was so key to it. And for me, the movies weren't ruined. I thought they were really good movies. We just watched them. So
yeah, we did. We watched all four.
All four movies. And we are gonna finish the Batman trilogy tonight, my man.
Yes. The Nolan trilogy, just to be fair.
Nolan trumps everything.
Yeah, Nolan trilogy.
But that was my biggest complaint, was just that
Yeah.
This key person was left out of it, and you're just like, that's not how it happened.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm concerned, because Amazon is making a Wheel of Time television show. I don't know that I 100% agree with some of the casting.
Do I know anybody they've cast?
I don't know.
Okay.
But what I'm really worried about is how they're going to screw it up. But so I guess, can we move?
Yes, we can talk about your book. I'm sorry, we are just
It's
like
fine. It's fine.
Squirrel.
Just
like Mr.
So
Squirrel,
I
it's
read.
handy, nifty, 50, Velvet, Rock, Bush,
Yeah.
Runner, Pull Around.
I read. I read 2 chapters of The Great Hunt. I read chapters 44 and 45. So essentially, let me see if I can find his name.
I just read the tagline on this, by the way, which I will address in just a second.
Okay. I can't remember his name. Hurin. Yeah. Hurin. All right. So the chapters I'm reading, it starts with Perrin and Hurin, who is another guy. They are essentially, what is going on right now is the main characters they're tracking down a horn, the horn that brings back all the dead people, right? All the heroes. They're dead, and they've been dead for a long time.
Hold on, just
okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
They've been dead for a long time, but their souls are bound to the horn. So once the horn is blown, all those people come back. But the kicker is, I see it, bub. It's okay, bub.
It's okay. Hey. Yeah, you talk about your book. I'll be right back.
Okay. I will be right back. I'm going to let the puppies in. So we will be right back. See. Oh, hey, it worked. Be right back. The Be Right Back actually showed up.
That's cool.
For whatever reason, the last time I tried to use it, it didn't work. I figured out why the alerts didn't show up.
Why?
You know, last time somebody did something, I had them turned off.
Whoops. Way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So, at this point in the story, our main characters, actually all 3 main characters are still together at this point. And they are all
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are they all friends or
yes.
comrades?
This is the three guys are the three main characters that all grew up together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, they're all friends even at the end. The spoilers, the three main characters make it the whole way through the book series. Yeah. I mean, come on. But yes, they're friends at the end as well. Mm-hmm. But at this point, they are all together. And they are in pursuit of a very, very shady individual. He is a dark friend who has pledged his allegiance to essentially the devil. In this world, he is basically the devil.
According to every piece of literature I've ever read, that is not a good idea.
Yes,
but,
in this series, he's known as the Dark One. He is the opposite of the Creator. And like I said last week, the Dark One essentially wants to break time and mold it to his will. This guy has decided that it's a good idea to pledge his allegiance and essentially sell his soul to him. So they are in pursuit of him, and he is in possession of...
Dr. Faust, party of one.
He is in possession of two items. Uh-huh. One is the horn that brings all the dead heroes back. Uh-huh. And our main characters are convinced that this horn, whoever blows the horn will raise all these heroes. It will be the final battle, blah, blah, blah. The Dark One dies and, everything goes back to normal, right? This is only book 2. That obviously doesn't happen. There's 12 more books after this.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. It does not happen. I will say that the horn does get blown in book 3. I believe. And so, that doesn't fix everything. It just creates another wrinkle. But the other item...
a wrinkle in time,
A wrinkle in time. A wrinkle in the pattern. Oh. But the other item that he is in possession of is a dagger that is soul-bound to Matt, one of the main characters. Mm-hmm. The longer Matt is separated from this dagger, the more it essentially eats his body. Like, he is pale, he's losing a lot of weight. The only thing it doesn't do is, it doesn't take his energy away. So he's like this real frail-looking, skinny person with a whole lot of energy of a 19-year-old. Because
of course.
Yeah, because I think all three of them are 19, 20 at this point. Mm-hmm. But they are in pursuit of this guy, and the other person that is important is Hurin. He is a guy who has a special gift where he can smell the bad things that people have done, like a trail. Like, he can smell, like, for instance, say he walked, you killed somebody, say you beat up somebody in a bar. He can walk in and smell the area where that happened and tell you what happened because of how it smells, where that violence. He can smell violence. Yeah. The guy thereafter is a pretty bad guy, has killed a lot of people, has done a lot of horrible things to the point of he has actually sold people into slavery to only have them executed for their souls and things like that. So when they are pursuing him, where he goes stinks like
Loki.
Crazy. Hey.
No backpack chewing.
No.
Come here.
Why don't you go lay down, buddy? Go lay down. Child.
Come here.
So that is how they are following this guy, is Hurin can smell where he's been. So they're literally following him because of all the bad things.
Oh.
The other side of what's going on right now is the main That's a little too close. Too close to this.
I just want to make sure they can hear me.
I think they can.
Okay.
That's a completely different section of Twitch. ASMR.
What is that?
That's a discussion for another
Hi
day.
guys, I've never used the internet before.
Yeah, it's a weird side of Twitch. Let's just agree. The other half of what's going on right now is following the female main female group of the series.
Okay.
You have three of the women are attempting to rescue the one-fourth woman.
So she's only a quarter woman?
No. Not the...
You said the 1/4 woman.
No, not the one. She is the fourth woman of the main group.
Gotcha.
The two out of 4 of the women also come from the same village that our 3 male main characters come from.
Do they know each other?
Yes, they all know each other. And I believe all of them have all met each other at this point. Okay. Like both groups have all met and know each other.
Okay. Biblical thing?
Not yet. So yeah.
I am here for useless chatter.
But there is an invading army that has come from across the ocean to the west, and in their society, you know how I told you about the male wizards and the female wizards, essentially?
Yes.
In their society, they essentially control all of the women who are able to do that type of thing, do the magic system. They control them and use them as weapons.
Gotcha.
It is a leash, like a literal leash that goes from the woman who can do the magic, it goes around her neck, to the wrist of the person who controls her. Okay. One main character, one main woman is captured and is leashed up at the moment. She is being held by these foreign invaders.
Like Princess Leia with Jabba the Hutt?
Actually, scarily close to that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also here for pop culture references.
Well, you know, it is. I mean, that's a pretty good. It's pretty good. But the other 3 women's goal right now is to get her out, is to free her. What they don't know, kid, stop. He's going to end up hitting the power strip and turning the power strip off, and then we're going to have to, turn everything off and turn it back on again. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No, but Loki will do that for you.
Yeah. So they are attempting to get her out.
Okay.
But the wrinkle is everything is about to come to a head, is about to clash, because the city that they are all in right now, what they don't know is that the house where the horn and the dagger are is literally across the street from the house where the women are trying to save the fourth woman. And my 2 chapters end with the male half of the main character group going into infiltrating their house, killing some people. There's a sword fight. This is the first time that the main character has a sword fight and actually kills another person. Yes. So that is a big deal for him. That is one of the things that leads... It just further leads him down the road of quote unquote going crazy, because he hears voices. He already hears voices. This is just another thing that adds to it.
Loki?
Hey, no. Hey, come here. Go lay down. Go lay down.
So everybody, our dogs are our children.
Yeah.
We do not have human children. All of our children have 4 legs.
Go lay down.
I often make the comment to Jeremy that, like, my first 2 kids were easy. Like, Ira was super easy. He sits on your lap. He's fine.
I mean, he's doing so
is
right
just the most chill dog, unless there's, like, a stranger in his yard, but is the most chill dog.
He's protective of his area.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Loki is chaotic.
Yes.
My first 2 kids were angels, and our third one is in fact living up to his name.
He is chaotic neutral because he's not really good, he's not really evil, he's just kind of in the middle. He's just blah, everywhere, kind of like
exactly.
Yeah. What can I get into? What can I chew on today? I've lost count of the number of times that I've opened the back door to let them in from going outside to play and had to say, Loki, please don't eat sticks. Please don't chew on that. He brought Ashley a rock the other day.
He dropped it at my feet.
He literally picked up a stone from the driveway, brought it in, and dropped it at her feet when he got in the house.
Yeah. So
almost like a cat bringing you a trophy, except it was a stone.
I mean, I had a dog in Texas that used to bring me dead frogs.
Well,
like, here is your present. And I'm like, thanks.
I mean, I could actually understand that more than I can a rock.
We have no dead frogs out there, so he had to bring us a rock.
That's fair.
Probably. I mean, I feel like if he got a bird or a frog, he would bring it to us.
That's the other thing. Chesty and Loki don't realize they can't fly and can't catch birds.
That doesn't stop them from trying.
That doesn't, yeah.
Like last week in Lowe's, when the birds were in Lowe's.
In the store.
So we have been taking the dogs out more and more. We did not take Loki last weekend because his paw was hurt because this dog gets injured every 5 minutes. Anyway, we took Chesty and Ira to Lowe's. Chesty did great. I mean, for his first time, he saw birds in the store, and like his favorite hobby is in fact hunting birds. I mean, he will never catch them because he can't fly.
Yeah.
So he stopped and he stared at him and he was like, I want it.
He couldn't figure out why there were birds inside a building.
Yeah.
That just did not make sense to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, anyway.
But to be fair, this is like all of that kind of stuff is new to him.
Yeah.
Like being in a building like that and not being yelled at for doing it.
Yeah.
Is a big deal, you know.
For sure. So anyway, book club. Yes.
So
sorry.
well, that's how my chapters end. Is this sword fight? Well, they steal it. They steal back the horn and they steal back the dagger.
And the Declaration of Independence.
And it ends with them, with Rand, the main character, looking out a window and seeing the woman that the women group is trying to save. He sees her and he's like, she shouldn't be here. Wait a minute. Why is she here? And now he's conflicted because they have to leave. They had to leave. They had to run. They had to get out because he essentially killed a member of the royal family from the invading army that has come across the ocean. He killed a member of the royal family. Their word for it is he was a member of the blood. So he has killed this guy. So, you know, that's not going to go over well. So they have to grab their stuff and get out. But on their way out, he sees her and he is conflicted on trying to save her. But the problem is he's the one who can use magic. He's the main character. He's the dragon reborn. He is able to channel. The problem is, if he does that, the women across the street know. They can feel it. They know what's going on. They will be able to sense it. And he can't do that without giving them away. So he's torn between doing that to save her and getting out and saving his current group of friends and everything. So this is kind of the tipping point of kind of his slow decline towards madness that kind of comes to a head, I believe, in like book 6 or 7, which is where he finally confronts the downward mental trend that he has kind of had. Because if you read the prologue of book 1, which you read, the guy that kills his entire family, Rand is this guy reborn.
Oh, okay.
The problem is some of that guy's memories are in Rand's head.
Oh.
And he can hear that guy's voice in his head. So this is kind of the downward trend where he starts to hear that guy's voice in his head more. And this is really one of the times where Rand starts to realize people are going to put their lives on the line for me because I'm important. he kind of gets this idea that he needs to save everybody. He needs to protect everybody. And that does not do well for his mental state because, spoilers, he can't. There are... And he actually, you were talking about we watched the Hunger Games. You know how PETA in the Hunger Games names people? Like he goes through the list of people that he recites it, and Katniss does the same thing where they recite the people that kind of did, like, sacrifice themselves for them, and that's how she deals with that. He actually does the same thing too. Oh goodness. Hola. Thank you for the bits, Lee. What is that? 30? Is that 35 bits? I need to add the cup. I forgot to add the cup because it would add all of those in there. I'm sorry, I need to add the cup for next time. But thank you for the bits, Lee. What's up? That's awesome. Thank you very much. That is a lot of hearts. What is that? Hearts? What are those? They look like hearts.
They look like hearts with tongues, and I like it. I'm here for it.
They're unicorns. Those are unicorns.
Unicorns!
Which is kind of funny.
It's
you. You are my unicorn.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like you today, so you're the centaur.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you, Lee. Yes. And I am highlighting all of these, so if you want to go back and start from the beginning, you can. It should be up probably tomorrow at some point. If I might do it a little later this evening. I might highlight the whole thing so that you can go back and watch it later if you would like. Because we are actually probably pretty close to done. I mean, you've talked about your book.
Yep.
I've talked about mine.
You're almost done with yours, so what are you going to read next? Have you decided?
Chronicles of Narnia.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes, I'm going to do the Chronicles of Narnia, and I'm going to do them in chronological order.
I'm not going to lie. I will probably end up reading this book in like 2 days because I've already told you, I love this book.
Yeah. Well,
probably end up reading it in like 2 days.
The thing is, I'm not sure. Okay. So I read chapters 44 and 45, and I told you how it focuses on the two main groups, and it ends. The main woman group has enacted their plan to save her. Mm-hmm. They have already done a thing to save her. They have kidnapped one of these women that actually holds a leash, and they are going to infiltrate the building. That's the next chapter, is them acting. So... yeah, I'm probably going to need to read mine pretty soon, too. Yeah, because it's a pretty good cliffhanger right now. Yeah. But yeah, once I get done with this book, I'm going to do Chronicles of Narnia in chronological order.
I'll probably end up reading it on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Because I have to work tomorrow and Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, and I might, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. But yeah.
So, yeah.
Was there? Yeah. Yeah, because my chapter ends with he sees her. Mm-hmm. They grab the stuff and run, and they are escaping. They have hopped the fence. They are back out of the building, and they are booking it down the alleyway to get away from the building. And they hear the gongs. Yep. That somebody has been killed. So yeah, and that's where it ends.
And mine ended with.
Are you ringing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mine ended with Trent getting on the elevator with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
My favorite scene.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I really I love this book.
Yeah.
It's just really good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got a book that you liked, because the other book was clearly
it was
the same
really
thing
good.
over and
there
over,
was just
right?
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and there really was a lot of the same thing. We went to this club. Andy Warhol was there. I had sex with this person. I had these drugs. I did this. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like I really liked that book back in college. I read it, cover to cover back in college.
Yeah.
There was just too much to go through. I needed a love story.
And that is...
Because real life is a little too real for me right now.
Yeah, yeah. That is one of the things about my book, too. There are love stories between... Pretty much all the main characters are in some sort of... Eventually, in some sort of... Yeah, committed relationship / married / married to 3 women / type deal going on. So you asked about people knowing people biblically yet? Yeah.
What you want, buddy?
Yeah.
We do have Ira here with us.
You want to show up? See? There he is. Oh,
Here's the baby.
You don't have to whine about it.
Here's the baby. Yeah.
Okay.
We can't pick up Loki and Chesty.
No,
just be a lot.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out.
That was fun.
Talking about books is always a good time.
You know what? Next week, if somebody reads a book and wants to hop on and chat with us about the book they're reading, I'm down for that.
Yes.
I like book recommendations.
And the Discord information is down below. It is down there. So if you want to join the Discord channel, just let me know in Discord. I will be checking Discord. Obviously, when I stream on Wednesday night this week, I'll be in Discord and I'll be able to see it. If you want to hop on and talk about a book you're reading, we're not going to turn it down. Yeah. As long as you don't have a problem being on stream with your voice, obviously. And we will use online names. You don't need to give us your first name or anything like that. We don't need your first name. We don't need your personal information. If you don't want to give it out, that's fine. So, that kind of thing. As long as it's about a book. I mean, I like books. So, as long...
It's fine. He's licking my hand.
He has decided that Ashley's hand needs a bath right now.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'm going to have to wash my hands before we make dinner anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Feel free to
read a couple chapters.
Tell us about it. Join us for book club.
Come and talk about it.
And I mean, if at some point we all want to read the same book, I'm also down for that.
Yeah. And just as a disclaimer, I am not opposed to reading romance books. I have read...
Next we can read my book.
I have read somebody's book. Somebody over here wrote a book.
I did.
Book number 2 is in process. Let's just say in process.
Yeah.
But yes. You can...
It's
can
good.
you find your book on Amazon?
You can. I don't want to do that plug. It's... You know what? There are a lot of things I would change about my first book, so if you read it and you hate it, just know that I do too.
Send me a message either in Discord or... a private message on Twitch, and I will let you know where you can find the book, and we will avoid the plug that way.
Thank you.
So, anyway, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the bits, Lee Nightingales, with the 35 bits. Thank you very much. Hearts with unicorns on them. So, that's awesome. That's cool. So, thank you very much. We will be back next week. Book Club, 4 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time, till roughly 5-ish Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
So, and I will be back streaming Lotro Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
I may join. I haven't decided yet.
You don't have to work?
I'm not working on Wednesday or Thursday.
That's right. Okay.
I have to work maybe Friday, but I have to go in tomorrow and Tuesday.
Okay.
Love my job.
So you might get some side commentary while I'm running around.
I'm always here for side commentary.
Color, got to add the color to the commentary.
To add the eccentric wife.
Why is your minstrel smacking things with a frying pan? Because he can. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Alrighty.
All right. Yes, we will see you all next week. Do you want to do your sign out? Do you remember what you said?
I don't even remember what my sign out was. Y'all.
Do you want to come up with a different one?
No.
You don't want to say anything?
Stay rock and roll.
That's what you said last time.
That's what I'll go with.
Okay. Is that good?
Stay rock and roll.